come in? No wonder she's in here. How are you? Is Granny Colby back here?
He is here to your house.
Sweet girl. She's so precious. Okay, I'm going.
You girls woke up dramatic today? Man.
I wake up a little dramatic sometimes.
Oh, man. I don't know what happened to them this morning. Bailey tried crying. Nick went in the wrong room, she said.
Oh.
So she thought she needed to go in that room.
Hello.
It's the little things that set us off today.
Let me know if you can see and hear me and all the things.
You have the wrong mom for drama.
Doesn't work.
She's telling them that. They don't believe me.
Hey, Lexi.
If you tell them that enough, do they believe you? If you might have the wrong mom for drama, do they believe you if you tell them enough?
I thought I was gonna have boys, and God gifted me with 2 girls, and I was like, "Lord, I don't know
Yeah, what
I can do
happened?
these emotions."
What happened?
I feel like this isn't right. Actually,
Well, it took me like 5 kids to get a drama queen, right? But then like special's different.
That's impressive. Yeah.
Like special's a different kind of drama, but then like my boy hit drama now.
Yeah.
But like he wasn't drama till now. Like we hit like 10, and I'm like,
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
what?
Yep.
Now you have all the feelings, all of them at once,
Also,
at one time,
they don't know what to do with them. Yeah.
and he doesn't know why.
You're like, neither do I.
Yeah, me neither. Let's identify him.
It doesn't get better. Just know that.
We're angry and sad, and I don't know if we don't know why.
Yeah. My 10-year-old just cries, and I don't know why.
Oh, you're fine.
But he's like the most lovable guy too. So we're like also great, but like also we're angry and sad. I don't know.
Okay.
We feel a lot in our house.
I'm a bus.
Yes.
She loves buses right now. I was like, well, yes, kind of. It's a band. Kind of. You're not completely wrong.
Completely wrong. We can fit as much as a small house.
My aunt had one of those, she had 8 kids, so she had like a sprinter van.
Yeah.
And it's funny, anytime she would like just collect extra kids.
I
And we would go places and people would be like, is this a field trip? And we were like, basically.
So I bought the car because I'm constantly taking care of my sister's kids. So I have 5 and she has 3, and I'm always a seat short. So like
Yeah, she had like a expedition or something.
I had a Highlander and I had T8, so I needed 1 more seat.
Yeah, so she had 6 kids. And then she was pregnant with 7, so then she was like, well, this kid might as well just go all in. And then she had 8, and she was like, well, we have the room, so.
Yeah, but like now I go to pick up my sister's kids from school and they're like, we have to ask for the daycare. And I'm like, no, but will it give me a shorter pickup line?
Yeah, right, that pickup line is always shorter, so.
So I'm like,
And
no,
then
but,
And then
but like, can I like do something to say yes and
Just
get
make
a
a sign.
shorter?
Yeah, just make it up.
In that.
Like,
Oh,
sorry, like I'm not opposed.
Just make a sign.
I'm a date.
I mean, I picked them up and that's nice.
Save me a spot, I was like,
Well, and then I recommend, so like we got a calendar and took out the road.
I will remind her tomorrow, and then.
And I recommend that amount as well.
You gotta make those. I had a friend who, it's funny, she only has 4, but she always has her nieces and nephews. She took out the back row, so she could put the stroller in and out that whole way.
Yes.
She could just put the wagon, the stroller, everything, she could just put it in. And so they just had the last row permanently taken out, so that way, like, all she had to do was just pick it up, put it in, pull it out, and then to like, open everything, close it.
Yeah, we got pictures and packages and then just took out the middle row. So like, I just opened it, like, I never opened it.
Yeah, and it sounds like we started June first.
Sunny Lane, you're way too dramatic. Okay.
Yeah, it's just, it's like our, so my director, so I director, and then the director has like essentially 4 different, so there's like wound care, she has three different boards. And so it's actually 4 below. Kind of so she. So it's good, I want to watch it.
In terms of like, there's an end date that it.
Like it's a 30 or 60 days, and then basically if you want the job.
That's the right.
Yeah, and it's nice as a director, which will be good, it's something I've never, yeah, I do like her, she is very good. But yeah, so it's just, in the interim will be good too, because she could stop sniffing.
Well, with myself, my hair.
It'll be a lot. Yeah, honestly, it's salary versus hourly, but it'll be paid. And
Did you see my
salary
guys'
always.
Jackson video?
No.
He needed to cry while watching it, but I was ready to cry.
Did you guys see this? Okay, yes, I think I.
Because I was ready to cry.
No, she doesn't count that.
Are you a crier?
Her work is done.
I'm not a crier at all.
She's good. I think it's just, so like,
I
I was really like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was
It's
ready.
just for itself.
Because I got to say something, I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna get out there at the end of Jilly, and you're definitely not gonna make it. I love that for you. Go ahead and get up there. And he did say something. Like,
Yes, but it is interesting.
I like this. I didn't
Just-
I like this.
Yes. So this is how we're gonna keep it, and then we have to set up for, the women's breakfast. That's on Saturday. So,
You asked me if I was coming back.
So we're starting
Yes, and so, but.
That's wild, though, yeah.
See, the TV driver, there.
Is that what Lexi? Oh, that's very nice.
So, yeah. So, I love you, but I'm gonna handle this. So,
Yes.
It might be this opportunity. Because then also I can.
Okay, let's do
But
that.
it's cheaper than you, but I can It was for a while, but it sounds like everyone else has found their places, which is good, because I do think that for the first year, I don't know what it looks like, I think that people, because of what's, you know,
Oh my goodness, I was like,
So, it's funny, my daughter had her and my husband's is a kid. Is your sciences? And she was just like, I don't think you've ever taken a full breath.
And that's
Like, it's just like, so I was willing to get it. And then, yeah, he's still kind of laid up, but he went to work today, so I was like, what about this?
I think my mom.
But yeah, they basically like,
I wish I could find out more of it, and I think that's where I continue.
which is crazy when you think about
If we need
it.
to add more chairs, we'll
We're
work.
very different ways that we to do.
They're like, oh, you my in-laws came in.
And we can add more chairs in the middle if we need, because Rachel's coming, so
She's like, yeah.
we'll need a chair for Rachel, and then, okay.
It's funny, I'm like, crazy.
It's like, she just makes my daughter. And she tells me all the things from my cousin brother, and she like looks over and she's like, I mean, Brooks is here.
But it's hard.
I know your brother, oh, she's like, he's just such a chunky baby, he's the best.
Okay, so, this is the Tuesday class, yes, and so we ended we finished chapter 22. Yes?
Let me check my note.
Yes? Okay. All of y'all are in different places and it does not do kind things to my brain. So,
I guess the thing is Friday.
Katie, you're at so many, you don't even know where you are.
I'm just happy to be here.
We're just happy to be here. Yeah. But Shelby's pretty solid that we ended 22.
I felt proud that
We-
stated for
Actually, I think we redid.
Yeah, right, because I redid 21, but
we made it through.
we made it through 22.
Okay, yeah.
Right, okay. So who needs 23?
I think we all did.
You do.
I would please.
Okay. This isn't what we got last week, right?
No, so we're gonna go on to the next.
Okay. Oh, yes. Wednesday does, because Wednesday's through 23. I know. It's because they don't have like the week off, you know? They don't have the Friday, the Park Friday or whatever.
They just keep on trucking along.
Keep on trucking along.
Okay.
They're more focused.
I am, hey, we can add more chairs. It's all good.
There's one on me, I turned it sideways for Jen, but Jen said she wants.
Yeah, and then Rachel's on the way. She said she's just late. Perfect.
Did you bring her books today?
You need the medical,
Okay,
salary right now.
all right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Everybody's got 23, right? Everybody's good, everybody's got what they need. Anybody need paper, pen, yada. Okay, guys, I am shaking. Do you see this?
You're always shaking.
I know, but it's a little more than normal. Okay, if I wasn't trying to, my friend Chloe and I are doing 75 hard. And
I was actually just thinking about that a lot yesterday for some reason.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, I was just like, that's gonna be really, really challenging. Like,
Yeah, no.
especially with kids.
yeah, and like,
75 hard.
I don't know, I have to not enjoy my life or eat things that I like. And
You're
So-
supposed to do 2 45-minute workouts a day, no sugar, no.
oh no, hello,
Are you good?
slow down.
Okay.
No. It's
But
whatever
you're
diet you
doing
choose. We're just staying in a calorie deficit. But
Okay.
you know what? If I wasn't thinking about being in a calorie deficit, I wouldn't have even thought about food yet
You're
today.
supposed to drink like a gallon of water.
Wouldn't have even occurred to me.
You're supposed to drink you're supposed to
Very
also
annoying.
eat, like,
So,
non-fiction every day. It's
I'm
just
fine.
reset.
Everything's fine.
I'm shocked. I'm impressed you're even attending it, to be fair.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. I am having sugar. And if it's into my calorie deficit, we're eating it. Okay. Okay, let's be very for real. My insurance stopped covering my fat medicine. And so here we are doing it this way. Okay, I guess we're oversharing this morning. Who wants to Katie, will you pray for us?
Dear Lord, thank you for this morning, and thank you for all these women who I love so much and that have come together so we can learn more about you and what you learn. And thank you for these women who encourage me and point me to Jesus. I just pray over this message this lesson that Megan prepared for us and is going to give us, and pray that we hear whatever you want us to hear today and that we leave here feeling encouraged and equipped to go out into our day. Thank you for all the childcare workers who showed up today and are making our children's walk with the Lord priority and teaching them and loving them and pouring into them. Lord, we love you and we praise you in Jesus' name.
We have people on live, and I'm sorry, guys, if I do not see your messages. Sorry. Okay. All right, we're in chapter 23. So who wants to give me like a brief little recap of how we got here, what's happening? What did we talk about last week? Anybody? I know y'all were here. I was here too.
He's hiding in the cave.
Yes.
And
That's a pretty solid answer every week.
leadership.
You could just say that every week and you'd probably be right.
Leadership keeps finding him.
Right? Yeah, he can't run from leadership, right? He's leading 400 and then 600 men the band of misfits.
Wait,
I'm gonna do the live.
I don't, did we finish 22? We have not read about Saul killing Greece. Remember, because you did, on Friday, you did the spoiler alert. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll go to wherever you guys are.
Can you do a recap of it, or is it like?
Oh no, we're gonna talk about it. We're not gonna miss anything. That is not.
So we
have you
stopped
met
at
me?
22 verse 6. We should be on.
Because then we went to
Perfect.
Saul and stayed there.
Okay, 22
Highlight the rest of 22, so we missed.
verse 6.
I know.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I think I did the same thing.
It's okay. You
Stop
know
with
what?
the
I've
song.
got a lesson for that. Okay. Verse 6. Okay. So the news of his arrival in Judah soon reached Saul. Is that where we're at? Yeah. Okay. Yes. It's all coming back to me now. Okay. So Saul has left, and he took his brothers and his mother and his father where and why. We talked about that. He took them to Moab, right? Why? Why did that work out? Ruth, because it's like grandpa territory, right? He's like, hey fam, I need you to watch them because I've got this crazy man chasing me, so I need you to watch them for a little bit. And the king was like, bet, no problem, I can do that. And so then he goes back. So let's start in verse 6, where the prophet tells David, you need to leave your stronghold, you need to leave your cave, and you need to go to the land of Judah. And verse 6 says, the news of his arrival in Judah soon reached Saul. At the time, the king was sitting beneath the tamarisk tree on the hill of Gibeah, holding his spear and surrounded by his officers. Listen here, you men of Benjamin, Saul shouted to his officers when he heard the news. Has the son of Jesse promised every one of you fields and vineyards? Has he promised to make you all generals and captains of his army? Is that why you have conspired against me? For not one of you has told me that my own son made a solemn pact with the son of Jesse. You're not even sorry for me. Think of it, my own son, encouraging him to kill me as he is trying to do this very day. Then Doeg the Edomite, who was standing there with Saul's men, spoke up. When I was in Nob, he said, I saw the son of Jesse talking to the priest Ahimelech, son of Ahitub. Ahimelech consulted the Lord for him. Then he gave him food and the sword of Goliath the Philistine. Okay, so let's go back up. So now we are shifting. The camera is panning over to Saul, who, okay, we know there's always a movie going on in here. Saul's doing the most, like tanning under this tree with his sword in his hand. Somebody's definitely like feeding him grapes, okay? And he is with his sword, which we know is like a character within itself in 1 Samuel, because what have we talked about the sword standing for? Spear, sword, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. The spear. He's grasping the spear for control. Every single time something feels uncomfortable, he's grasping for that spear and he's throwing it. We've talked about like, what are we constantly grasping for whenever things seem out of control? And we have little things in our lives that are basically characters within our life that are outside of ourselves, but we allow them to define who we are. So Saul reaches for his spear and he takes power as his identity. Right? I can kill you with this if I want to. I can just throw this at you. It doesn't matter who you are. You make me mad. You make me feel less than, and I'm going to chunk this thing at you. And so that's like his whole personality. And we look at Saul and we're like, dumb Saul. But really, like, what have we allowed to become our identity? What are we chilling under our tree with? That's like the first thing that we go to whenever something is beyond our control or something feels not normal or something feels scary. This is not rhetorical.
I'm meeting with my words.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Mhm.
I can't control my tongue. Or my face.
Or your face.
Or my mood.
Or most of me, I just can't control myself.
Or like a really good schedule. I love a really good schedule.
And so if the really good schedule isn't really good, we're like, not okay?
Well, I'm okay, I just like really analyze my schedule just a little bit more.
Yeah. Almost like we rely on the schedule. Right. So some of us
I
are,
really must not have scheduled that real well. I'm gonna just look at it a little bit.
yeah, I need to get that more detailed next time. We turn to anxiety or we turn to pride, whatever it is. Overreacting, yeah. But it's not overreacting in the moment, right? It's totally justified, right? Totally justified in the moment. And then we can look back and be like, oh, that was a lot. That was a lot. Probably shouldn't have reacted that way. And so we all have these things that we grasp for whenever something feels out of our control. And whenever we do that, like that is just this reminder to us that our identity is being rooted in something other than the Lord. And so I've shared with you guys that my husband always tells our oldest son, like, he has really bad anxiety. And he's like, every time that you feel anxious, like, it is a gift from God that's saying, like, hey, friend, you need more time with me. Because if you're anxious, you're forgetting the promises that I've given you. You're not believing who I am. So then we've got Saul going on his self-pity train. Okay. I tried to read it without sounding the way that I wanted to sound whenever I was reading this, because this is annoying, right? Like, absolutely none of you guys told me that my son was trying to, like, be in cahoots with David. Obviously, none of you like me, right? I'm the worst. And so he has this pity party. Has he promised to make you all generals and give you vineyards? Like, what in the world? Okay, what does anybody else notice about this little pity party? We've talked about it before. What does he call David?
Son of Jesse.
Son of Jesse.
So distancing,
Yeah, he doesn't even, it's really hot in here. I'm sorry.
like he has no idea.
You just gotta sit under the fan. It's pretty
I
nice.
was like, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I'm like, like, oh, I'm always chilling.
From now on, you're gonna turn it and move this away.
I'm usually cold, but
So you can
every
stand
time I
right
teach,
here.
I just sweat. I don't know. So, okay,
Can I say something?
yes,
Here's me having compassion on Saul because
Mhm.
I love
So
him so much.
yes.
But I really just feel so sad for him
Mhm.
because he's so deceived
Oh, yeah.
by the lies. Like, he truly believes this. Like, when my husband will make a face about, like, it could be something completely unrelated to what's happening right now in the moment, and he'll make a face like, and I immediately think it's my fault.
Mhm.
And I'm like, what did I do? It's because I didn't get that done in time. And I'm like immediately analyzing and thinking I did it, it's my fault. He's mad at me right now. And then I'll ask him and he's like, there's something wrong with my truck and I'm trying to figure out the finances on it and it's stressing me out. And so that's why I made that face.
Mhm.
But I immediately think it's me.
Mhm.
And I have compassion for Saul because he's just like, this makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to not see it that way.
We all do that. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Situations. It's like, until we see the other person's perspective, until he says, my truck, and you're like, oh, okay.
It has
It's
nothing
not
to
what I
do with
thought.
it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's
The assumption.
break that down. Let's figure out, like, remember, we're going all the way down to, like, the root of our sin. So where's that coming from? Breaking it all the way down.
Fear of failure, fear of disappointment, patterns of people losing it on you whenever you fail.
Right.
And just automatically thinking.
So where are you finding your identity?
I'm not,
You're finding your identity in the way other people feel about you,
right?
right? So my identity is rooted in what man in general,
Mhm.
in this instance, like your husband, of how they perceive me as doing well, right? And so, same, I do the same thing, and then I get big mad if people don't think that I have met the expectation. I'm like, I actually went above and beyond, okay? But, and so I think it all comes down to our identity and then our belief about what we believe about God and his promises to us. And because we can fully 100% believe in the Lord, but not believe in his promises. Do we understand that? Like, I believe in God. I believe that Jesus is the Son of God. I believe that Jesus is God. I, however, do not believe that he can take care of this situation.
I think it's also like a control issue thing, even for Saul. Like, he can't give up the control that, like, it's not his plan, it's not his actions, it's God. And like, he can't even, he's so like focused that he has no concept that like Saul made, or God is leading someone else that isn't him. And that like, which is hard, and even in our lives, like it's hard, like you think you can control, because I just think I think I can control way more than I can.
Yeah.
Right, like something happens on my husband's job, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, like how can we fix this? And it's like, I can't. Like,
Right.
I can't. And I think for Saul, it's hard, it's like a control thing, and not understanding like there are just things out of your hands. His. You want your baby? There you go.
She had an accident. She doesn't have it. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah. I think it all comes down to control. We really like control. We don't think like things being outside of our control. So, but again, we always try to wrap it back. Just because it's normal and we can all relate doesn't mean that it's okay, right? We don't want to unpack and stay there. So the only way to not unpack and stay there, the only way to be convicted about it and then repent of it. And then remember, we're repenting. We're not doing a 360. We're not just saying, I am so sorry, and then doing it again, right? We have to turn away from it completely. Is just to continue to be washed in the word and keep like preaching the gospel to ourselves constantly. And remembering like a lot of our need for control is because we really think we're great, you know, like we really do. We live in this world where we're like, we need more self-love. No, actually we love ourselves a whole lot. And like, we just like, that's why we think we should control everything, because we can do it so great. And so we just need to get to the fact that like, we're not enough. We were never meant to be enough. We were never meant to be the one that is the emotional catch pan for everybody in our lives. We are not meant to do that. We're not meant to wear that. And so we have to surrender completely. And I know surrender, that's a very churchy word. What does surrender mean? Well, it's just this daily process of understanding that like, you can't do it all. You weren't meant to do it all, right? Quit trying to build your tower. Like, remember what happened last time they tried to do that? It wasn't great. They got real confused. And I also stay confused. So, okay. So no one is sorry for me. So Saul has made himself the center of his own tragedy that he created. Like, so look, it's the consequences of my actions, and I am the victim of them. Okay, but then we've got Doeg, okay, the big loser, who, remember, we talked about, he was like in the background of the story whenever David was asking the priest, why was this a big deal? What did Doeg see? Do you guys remember? Right, you got the bread and the sword. Why does that matter?
Because the last time he had the sword, he said, what did he say? Tell me what God is with me.
Yeah, like you come with sword and javelin, but I come in the name of the Lord.
Yes, but then,
But then he sees it again. Right.
Said,
There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I want it so badly.
Yeah.
Last time I was fine with coming in the name of the Lord, but now I need this because there's nothing like it. But last time I was fine with trusting God, but this time I'm going to use the world, right? And then he also got the bread of presence, that was supposed to be for the priest. It was holy bread. But we talked about the reason it was okay the priest gave it to him is because mercy trumps tradition, right? Like if we see somebody on the side of the road, but it's going to make us late to church, and we just keep driving, we've missed the point. God's like, just keep driving past church because you're clearly not listening, right? So, but Doeg steps up and he says, hey, actually, okay, so he sees Saul throwing a pity party and he's like, ooh, here's my chance to be like Saul's like main guy, right? I'm going to solve his problems. And he steps in and he's like, actually, I saw David and I saw the priest help David. Now he gives facts, but he doesn't give the full facts. He doesn't say like, hey, David lied to the priest, by the way, the priest helped him, but it was under false pretenses. He doesn't say any of this. And also, why did Doeg wait? This didn't just happen, right? We're very calculated.
Waiting for his opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How is this going to benefit me?
But if Saul, I'd be annoyed. I'd be like,
why didn't you say anything?
you've been sitting here with this information.
Yeah. And so we have to make sure that we don't do that kind of stuff with like information that we get. Like, when is this going to benefit me? How is this going to benefit me? And I think that's just a very normal human thing to do, is how is this going to benefit me? I'm going to put this card in my pocket and I'm going to wait until I can get something from this. So he says, I saw him talking. He gave him the food and the sword. Okay, before we move on, any questions or thoughts on this?
What verse is that? Sorry.
We just ended verse 10.
Oh.
Anything else before we move on? Okay. Verse 11. King Saul immediately sent for Ahimelech and his family, who served as priest at Nob. When they arrived, Saul shouted at him, listen to me, you son of Ahitub. What is it, my king? Ahimelech asked. Why have you and the son of Jesse conspired against me? Saul demanded. Why did you give him food and a sword? Why have you consulted God for him? Why have you encouraged him to kill me as he is trying to do this very day? Oh, pause, because now we're just lying. Okay, now we are making things worse than they are. Yeah, and like, you know, I can feel for Saul. I always do. Like, I'm like, whenever I am losing it, I go to absolutes, right? Like, if my husband comes to me and he's like, hey, like, this has been bothering me, and and I'm like, oh, well, I'm so sorry that you're so unhappy. And I was like, that was dramatic. Like, why are we going to absolutes? Like, it's not that way. And he's like, why have you encouraged him to kill me? Nowhere, even when Doeg said that he encouraged him to kill him. Calm down, sir. So, okay. But sir, Ahimelech replied, is anyone among all of your servants as faithful as David, your son-in-law? He is the captain of your bodyguard and the highly honored member of your household. This was certainly not the first time I've consulted God for him. May the king not accuse me and my family of this matter, for I knew nothing at all of the plot against you. You will surely die, Ahimelech, along with your entire family, the king shouted. And then he ordered his bodyguards, kill the priests of the Lord, for they are allies and conspirators with David. They knew he was running away from me, but they didn't tell me. But Saul's men refused to kill the Lord's priest. Then the king said to Doeg, you do it. So Doeg the Edomite turned on them and killed them that day. 85 priests in all, still wearing the priestly garments. Then he went to Nob, the town of the priest, and killed the priest's families, women and children, and babies, and all the cattle and donkeys and sheep and goats. Okay, so this is probably one of the ugliest scenes that we see in Saul's life. And we just kind of see what bitterness and believing the lies and everything just creates this entire, right? We've talked about the green smoke of sin, right? Like, it is just going over everything and everybody. And so now he's ordering his guards to do things. He's ordering Doeg to do things. Now these priests are being killed. Their families are being killed. The livestock is being killed. Like, this green smoke is everywhere very, very quickly, and there's absolutely no stopping it. So he accuses Ahimelech of conspiring with David, which he has absolutely zero evidence of whatsoever, other than Doeg running his mouth and only telling half-truths. But I want us to look at the response of the priest. What does he say back to Saul? Because honestly, like, takes some guts to respond to Saul the way that the priest did. What did he say?
Isn't it like, this is your dude?
Yeah, he's like, what are you talking about?
I feel like it's also tricky, like nowadays information travels so fast. And like everyone's expected to be completely updated on every topic of everything always. Whereas like back then, he's just like, I don't know.
I didn't even get a pigeon, bro. Like, I got nothing.
I thought you was your dude. That was
Yeah. No, truly, like, so incredibly innocent. Not even just innocent as like a priest, which we know all the priests weren't innocent, but this guy truly was. Like, he wasn't doing anything wrong. And he's like, who among your servants is as faithful as David? Like, what a choice. What a choice to say back. Like that, and we get nervous about telling people that we're a Christian. We get nervous about telling people like, oh, hey, actually, like, I don't do that because, you know, I'm a Christian. Like, or like, I just don't really think that Jesus would love that. Like, we're scared to tell our friend, like, hey, I don't think you should be reading dirty books if we love Jesus. Like, I think we should walk away from that. Or like, hey, like, maybe we shouldn't be, you know, getting drunk every night to go to sleep. Like, that doesn't sound like, I know you're a mom and I know it's hard, but like, that doesn't have to be the answer. But we're scared. We're scared to say these things because we want to be relatable so badly at the risk of relating people straight to hell. We don't care. Like, we don't play in the long game here. Like, I will hurt your feelings to help your soul every time. And I pray that you love me enough to do the same. Like, because if you don't, you ain't my friend. You know what I'm saying?
You know what Pastor Will said, like, you're just walking alongside them, moving their hand as they walk off a cliff.
Oh, walk off a cliff. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, I am, you know,
I love you so much off this.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything. I thought you might get mad. That's wild. And of course, so what's required to be able to speak hard truths? Relational equity is required. Like, I mean, to a point, right? I mean, sometimes we don't have time we need to tell people hard things, but like relational equity is going to go a lot further. So that means that we're moms. It's hard to have good friends. Who's got time for that? It's hard. It's hard. But it's important. It's important to have community that knows you inside and out, that can call you out on your sin, that knows you well enough to know how to call you out on your sin, and that you feel comfortable enough to confess sin to. Like, it's important. That wasn't where I was going with this, but here we are.
I have one more thought.
Yes.
Just kind of going back to Saul's lies and just truly being deceived and the parallel for me, if I'm Saul, if I'm the mom who's listening to the lies and I'm living in fear of disappointing my husband, then my kids are the priests.
Ooh.
Because they're innocent, right?
Yep.
They're just bopping along, and
Yep.
here I am having these emotional triggers and flare-ups, trying to protect myself from facing the disappointment that's going to come on my husband, or really my shortcomings because I didn't handle my life well, and now where I disrespected him, and now he's going to find out, and so I'm over here forcing them to try and cover it up with me, to try and whatever, and then I'm sowing these like generational issues of don't let your dad find out because he'll be upset. Teaching them it's okay to live this way, to operate under man's feelings, and like they eventually grow up and lie to me because I taught them that with their dad. And it's just like, it's at the expense of them, me being rooted in man and not in God.
Absolutely. We've talked about like how we are lying to ourselves if we think that our unrepentant sin isn't affecting our children. We are lying to ourselves if we think it's not affecting our marriage. But to the point of moms and our kids, because sometimes if we like, have you ever been like, well, I won't do it for me, but I'll do it for my kids. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes we'll get into this, like, if we truly want to break generational curses, if we truly want to set our kids up, we have to be honest, and we have to do the hard things, and we have to do the dying to ourselves. And even if it costs us everything, we have to do it. And then eventually we need to get to the point where we're not doing it for our kids. We're doing it because we love God.
Right.
And we want to steward what he's given us well. And if we're not stewarding it well, we're sinning. Like, again, just because it's relatable, just because we can be like, oh, what is it that we do? Oh, I struggle with that too. No, you sin.
Yeah.
We don't use the word struggle here because struggle makes it seem less serious. That's how we sin. And so, yeah, I think that that's such a good point, that our kids are the priests that are just collateral damage in us not doing the things that we are supposed to do, right? Like, so, okay, kills the 85 priest. But the men are like, actually, not a chance am I doing that. Like, at least we see something here. We see a little bit of like, okay, at least somebody's got their head on straight. Like, and again, that took courage. Saul could have been like, actually off with their heads too. But they didn't. They didn't. And I think that we should really think about that in our own lives when it comes to, and I'm relating everything back to this, but when it comes to sharing Jesus. In this moment, they shared their faith. I am not killing that priest. That is a, nope, there's like an extra place in hell for that, you know, but that's what their minds are. And like, actually, no. And we're scared to tell people about Jesus. These people were fine with getting their heads chopped off, talking to this mad king.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, that's uncomfortable. Like, I want to pray with her. I'm awkward. Girl, please stop. He died on a whole cross for you. Get it together. Okay. So he looks at Doeg and he says, you do it. And he's like, bet, let's go. And he kills him. And so you almost have to wonder, like, what does Doeg have to gain from this? But
It's weird that.
It's a little conniver.
oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
weird that God held him back so that he would see that.
Yeah.
He used it as a playing card,
Yeah.
and then he was like, all right, I'm the king's man. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do what he says, even though nobody else does. So I just see like that evil vein in
Yes.
him. Like,
And so then that's actually I'm glad you brought that up, because that's the next thing that we're gonna wrestle through, is we read about, but he was what by the Lord? He was, what's the word that I use? He was detained by the Lord. Okay, we're like, what does that mean? We're like, that means that God kept him there. Was he aware that God kept him there? No. He wasn't like, I'm stuck, I can't leave. Like literally, like, it's just kind of like when you're behind a slow person and you're like, well, maybe God's keeping me from a car accident or something, you know? God detained him there for a purpose. Every appointment is a divine appointment. Nothing happens by accident. So if we have to be aware of the fact that God kept him there to see David do this, to then later use this information that God knew was going to lead to the killing of women and children and babies. What do we do with that? How do we wrestle with that? Because this is where our apologetics comes in, right? Because you have people that don't love the Lord and like, oh yeah, your God's so good. You're like, killing babies. Cool, yeah, let me get in line to worship that God. What do you say?
I feel like with these kind of things, I literally don't know, and I can't think about it too much, or I start to get spirally. So I do those kind of things. I just have to, like those things that you just have to accept. Like I know God is so good. I don't understand it.
Mhm.
I know I probably should.
Yeah, we're gonna dig here. We're gonna dig here.
It makes me feel a little panicky and like
Yeah.
scared. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to be, but
Yeah, because you have faith. You're like, oh, I'm not questioning God's goodness.
yeah.
But an atheist, a Buddhist, they don't have faith in Jesus.
I would not know how to defend that.
Defend that, Mary?
But doesn't it also just show like there's still continued opportunities to use your free will in one way or the other, right? Like,
Right.
he gave him the opportunity. You can be the good guy here, or you can be the bad guy, and that's on you. Like these are your decisions, because he could have also stood up and been like, well, if his guards aren't doing it, I'm not doing it. Like
Yeah.
it would have been really easy, because then it would have just been a tide against Saul. And I think it's like God puts you in situations that it's then up to you, and they can be hard situations, but like you then have to use your free will to then decide, like, okay, am I gonna be the good guy here? Am I gonna be the bad guy? Am I gonna be, glorifying him, or am I gonna do what
Oh,
the
yeah,
man
for
wants
sure.
me to do? And it's hard to look at and be like, how could you do it? But it's like, we have free will, and it's like, there's a song where it's just like, it's really easy to judge Judas, but like, he did it for silver, but I do it for free.
I did it for
like,
free.
I do it for free. And that one hits me like, every time. It's just like, every day you do little things. And it's just like, I'm not even making money off of it. I'm not even making money off of it. I'm just doing it because that's what I
Because
wanna
it feels
do.
good, right? Sin feels good. Okay, but we're gonna push even further. Okay, sure, yeah, there's free will, but God is sovereign, right? Okay, well then how come he didn't just stop him?
There was one man against 85 priests in the whole town come. Because it doesn't say that Doeg and
Uh-huh.
anybody.
Mhm.
Doeg,
Yeah.
that day he killed 85 men.
God could have
And
stopped
like
that.
going back
The
to
sword to Nob.
Like going back to
Uh-huh.
that song, like I always go back to like considering like First Samuel. Like I go back to like how like God sent like the evil spirit like to torment Saul.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. So that allowed for David to be
Yes.
called upon.
There you go.
Okay, so like that's what that, like if that would have happened, then there would have been no need for David.
Yep.
So like those are like kind of the examples, like it's
Of the
like
dominoes.
one domino, like you know what I mean? So like that is God's goodness. So like if one thing doesn't happen, then there's no need for one other thing.
Absolutely. So it all
You know
comes
what I'm
down to,
saying?
yes, because it comes down to God is not the author of evil, but he governs it.
And so that's kind of how I like. try to-
Absolutely.
I don't know. Does that make sense?
also-
No, yeah, no, that's exactly where I was going.
Also, he created us, like the amount of breath that's in our lungs is up to him.
Yep.
And we don't have a right.
Exactly.
So I don't know the best way to describe this, but that's the best way I can describe it is that situation.
Yeah. So,
Just like when our kids die, when early, like through a tragic means. They go be with the Father where they're supposed to be, like in perfect peace with him. They go early, they go in a horrible way, but ultimately they're reunited with the Father, and the time that we have with them on the earth is a gift to us, not a right. So these people, like, he knows all the amount of suffering that we all are going through.
Yep.
But he's returning them home to him.
Yeah.
So it's his decision.
Yep, so we
his
can,
creation.
exactly, it's his decision, it's his creation. And is an atheist going to be able to understand that concept? No, they're not, but they are going to be able to see your faith in the understanding of God's goodness isn't based on my circumstances. Okay, so when we see that, why in the world did God, he anointed David like forever ago, like why is Saul still here doing all these horrible things? Well, if Saul wasn't still there, then David wouldn't have been fighting the bears and the lions, and he wouldn't have had that knowledge and that experience to then kill Goliath. And so like we see these things that are happening, God sees things differently than we do, and we will never be able to understand it. And so to the point of like losing a child, like the day that you were created, God knew exactly how many days and minutes and milliseconds you were going to spend. None of us go before our time. We go at the exact moment. There was never, talking to Marley about her mom, there was never going to be a day that Tammy saw 56 years old. Never. It was never planned. And so we can rest in that she had the exact amount of time that God ordained for her to have. And so eventually, through faith and spiritual maturity, like you do find peace and rest in that. But whenever you're not finding peace and rest in that, that's when God is sanctifying you, because whenever you're struggling with these things, what are you doing? You're talking to other people.
That's like when you have a special kid. Like,
Yeah,
why? What could I have done to make my kid not?
Yep. Well, and I gave that example in Sunday school this past Sunday, because somebody had told me like, God must be such a narcissistic God to give you a child to make you more dependent on him. So he made your child struggle so you could be more dependent on him. Like, that's crazy. And I was like, well, try not to hit you right now, but that's fine.
I can tell you a little bit more about myself.
Yeah, you don't even know about his big diagnosis. That's wild to say that about autism. But that's yeah. And so it's like God's goodness isn't based on our circumstances, and we have no idea. And then whenever I went to go sit down, somebody was like, "You have no idea how much Rusty has blessed my life, and you don't even know about the things that I think about every single day, because I haven't spoke to this person in a long time." And they're like, "You don't even know the things that Rusty said to me that I think about every single day." I had no idea. And I promise you, if Rusty wasn't autistic, he wouldn't have said those things. I promise. Okay. So it's just one of these things that we have to wrestle with, and we have to get back to the fact that God is God and we aren't. Thank God. Because I wouldn't do it very well.
Okay, so I have a funny little thought. So when like somebody dies and they're like posting on Facebook, oh, they're gone too soon.
Never too
no.
soon.
Correct.
The right moment, exactly when they were supposed to. It's all about perspective, right? Like you can say like, oh my gosh, like they had to suffer for 13 years through this. Like that's not good. Why would God let them suffer for 13 years? God gave them 13 extra years to get right with him. Actually.
To witness to those around.
Absolutely.
In the hospital with the nurses that needed to hear.
Absolutely.
Whatever it was. Yeah.
It's perspective, and we won't have it all the time, right? Like,
So for my dad, he was diagnosed with stage 3, almost stage 4 colorectal cancer when he was like 48. He only got tested because his dad was dying, right? So like the only reason he got tested.
Yeah.
And he was one of those where he was just like, everyone's like, oh, he's so young. But he was a workaholic before that. He barely spent any time with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
And like that actually gave him time to like reevaluate everything, and also like reevaluate his relationship with God and like things that had happened in his past. And it was like a very, like we all saw it happening. And it's funny, my younger siblings, my older sister and I kind of joke that we're like, you were not raised by the same God that we were raised by. And like, that's okay, but just understand that like he was a changed man, but without getting sick and truly almost dying. Like he was like right there. And it's just like, without that, and he said it, he'll say it all the time. It's like, if I hadn't gotten sick, I never would have changed. Like I would have just been working. I would have just been focused on making money and trying to like fix things in that way versus it gave him time with people. It gave him time with God. It gave him like a new perspective. And obviously for some people it doesn't end well. Like he's fine now. He's like, he's cancer free now. But again, it was like, if that hadn't happened, when it had happened, my younger siblings would not have gotten the present father that they got.
Exactly.
And my older sister and I are very happy for it. We're like, I know, that's great. Like, I'm glad he was present for you guys. But yeah, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Like, it just wasn't.
Yeah, that perspective is so good. And it's so freeing. There's so much forgiveness in that kind of perspective. So one more thing I want us to look at on this part is, so we have now 85 dead priests. Their families are dead, their children are dead, their babies are dead. All because of what? Ultimately, yes, we know Saul is evil, but David's lie. David's lie about, I'm here on a secret mission that Saul sent me on. So what do we think would have happened, right? We live in the what ifs. What if David would have said, hey, I know you've heard about Saul, and I know you know me. I know you know my heart. I'm in trouble. What do you think the priest would have done? Could have done one of two things. Could have been like, I'm giving Saul a ring. You're crazy. I am not trying to get killed by this guy. And he could have told him. Or he could have said, like, whatever you need, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you need, like Jonathan did. Whenever he's like, what can I do? Okay, so we go all the way back to this lie. We go all the way back to this tiny little, really easily justifiable sin, right? I'm just trying to keep the peace. I didn't want to hurt their feelings. I didn't want to stir up a mess. And we've got our green smoke. It starts slow, but again, we're lying to ourselves if we think that the sin in our lives isn't affecting those around us, because it absolutely is. The fact that I am 3 o'clock, worst hour in my house, okay? I turn into a monster. I don't know what happens. I'm tired, I'm rude, I'm irritable. Like 3 o'clock is not a good time. My kids know that, okay? When my child comes to me and says like, are you in a good mood? Oh my gosh. What in the world? Like, first of all, go ahead and write that down. You'll be using it in therapy that you rightfully should go to, because I'm the worst. You know, like, our sin affects everybody around us. That doesn't mean that we're called to be perfect. But like, when we can recognize sin and we do nothing about it, like, that's not okay. It's disobedient. It's going to affect you more. And there's going to be consequences. So, okay. I think I have beat that part to the ground. Everybody agree? Okay. Verse 20. Only that guy's name.
Okay, can I pause that? Do you remember like that original live, like where that was?
That was in 21.
Okay.
When he was like, hey, I'm on a top secret mission. I am James Bond himself.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And then he's like, but my men. And I'm like, I thought you were by yourself. You're not even a good liar,
Verse
David.
21, verse 2.
So anyway,
Yeah.
so,
Thank you.
okay. Only that guy's name. Sure, Abiathar. See, and that is literally phonetically what it is. Why couldn't I get that? Glad you're here. Okay. One of the sons of Amalek escaped and fled to David. When he told David that Saul had killed the priest of the Lord, David exclaimed, I knew it. When I saw Doeg the Edomite there that day, I knew he was going to tell Saul. Now I have caused the death of all your father's family. Stay with me and don't be afraid. I will protect you with my own life, for the same person wants to kill us both. So we have this immediate acceptance of his responsibility in everything that just happened. Like, what a thing we can learn.
It's like, David knew who Doeg was,
right? And it's like,
I knew it.
I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. Literally raise your hand if you were like, I knew this was going to happen. Not in this, but just in your life. Like, I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, oh, looky there. Everything's falling apart. Who knew that was coming? Me.
Oh, yeah.
I did. I knew that was coming.
It's a benefit when you have anxiety and you just project every scenario.
Absolutely.
Literally, I knew happened.
Is it overthinking if I was right? Like, just seems like I saw it coming. Okay? He says, I knew on that day. So he is taking responsibility for this. Is this only David's responsibility to wear? No. No, he cannot control Saul. He can't control his evil, right? We can't control what other people in our lives are doing, but we can absolutely control the way that we sin in response. Okay? Because just because you are responding with sin doesn't make your sin more justified at all. Like, and I mean, I'm going to be bold and say every single person in here, I'm going to make the assumption, because I feel like I know most of you pretty well enough to say that Jesus is Lord of your life, okay? So I know you have the Holy Spirit, so I know you feel the convictions about the sin that you're living in, even if it's responsive sin, right? Like, I was never an impatient person until I had twins. No, you were always an impatient person. This just came out of you then, right? Like, we can't just blame the situation around us to make it feel okay. So this takes a lot of humility for David to be like, I did this. Stay with me, okay? Because now there is a part for David to pay back, okay? He has to, what's the word? Okay, we've repented, yes, but there's got to be something giving back. Like, there it is. There it is. I had not had the talk with Pastor Will about this until after I had written this, and so now it's like a whole different lesson this time. There has to be restitution. Yes, there has to be restitution, right? And so he's like, stay with me, because now I have done this. I'm taking responsibility for this. Now I owe you this, right? I owe you this. And so this takes a lot of humility. This takes a lot of not being allergic to saying you were wrong, okay? It takes a lot. And so he's like, he who seeks my life seeks your life. So with me, you shall be in safekeeping.
Where is this?
Well, that's not an NLT.
Oh.
Remember, I read NLT, but I study an ESV. Sorry. NLT is easier to teach from, but I like the wording in ESV, so.
So what, sorry, read that verse again. What verse is that?
23.
23, okay, sorry, read it.
Okay, it says, where'd it go?
What's the restitution? What did he do?
He's saying, like, stay with me. I'm gonna keep you safe now.
Okay.
Like,
Just to-
Make amends.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that.
He's not just like, sorry, you're on your own.
There's
He's
more than
sorry, I'm gonna
Yep.
keep watch over you.
Yep.
Okay.
I am doing more than just that. Like, it's kind of like if you and your husband are saying you're like, hey, like, I need more help around the house. Like, I am drowning. And he's just like, you know what? You're right, I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna do better. The sorry is great. Like, we love you saying that you need to do better. Where is this coming from? Like, you need to be okay with me being like, hey, remember, like, can you do X, Y, and Z? Then he's not gonna get mad about that because he has said he needs to do better, right?
So restitution is like the action part of taking accountability.
Right. So, like, for example, I'm gonna put myself out there. I am a control freak. Shocker. I know. I know. We learn something new every day. Yeah. And so I struggle in the submissive wife department. Okay, we're trying most of the time. And when it comes to things that I just like think make more sense to me, sometimes William's like, yeah, but that doesn't make more sense to me. I'm like, well, don't care. Like, this is the way we're gonna do it. And every once in a while, I'll be wrong. Okay, every once in a while, like once. And he'll be like, hey, so it would really make me feel better. Okay, we were in San Antonio and I kept telling him that he did not know the directions that where we were going. Turns out he did. And he was like, hey, it would really help me feel like way more respected if you just trusted me. And I was like, okay, like that's kind of dramatic. I just turned this way because it looked familiar. And then he's like, you know what? Okay, whatever. And I'm like, and it's these little bitty things. And so now, because he has let me know that I have disrespected him in this way, it's important to him. And if it's important to him, it's important to me. Okay. It's like, I need to make sure that I am respecting him in the ways that he feels respected. Not just like, oh, well, I'm respecting you because I stay home and clean the house and cook. No, that's not how he feels respect, right? I need to respect him in the way that he feels respected. That's trusting him, even whenever I don't necessarily agree with it. But I can do that because I know that he has the Holy Spirit, right? He's a godly man, all of these things. And so, like, if I believe that the same Holy Spirit talks to me, lives in him, I should probably just, you know what I'm saying? I also get lost in a box. So who am I to give directions to anybody? That's ridiculous. But, okay. Any other thoughts on that? Restitution for acknowledging our wrong in something and then moving forward. Because do you feel like, right, we talked about what's the difference between an apology and repentance, What's the difference?
Apologies, manipulation.
An apology without
Oh, without action
is manipulation.
or change money.
Repentance is completely turning away from it, doing something different. It's not even just not doing it. It's doing something different. If you were in the Exodus study, we talked about the 10 Commandments.
An apology.
An apology without changed behavior is manipulation. And then, yeah, that's a good one. And then, so repentance, we've talked about the 10 Commandments, like, thou shalt not kill. Okay, right, good. Good on you. You haven't killed anybody, but we're called to more than that. We're not only called to not kill, but we're called to speak life, right? Like it is not just don't do this. It's don't do this and then do this, right? We are called to more. And so it's not just, hey, I'm sorry. It's more. Okay.
And also with the correct person, because just going to God, when like really the restitution requires you going to God, then going to that person, because you can't really be honest if they don't know.
Yeah, that's hard. That one story that you told about your sister-in-law sticks with me every single time I start to open my mouth to gossip. I'm like, because then I'd have to go tell them. Like, kids told me I'd have to tell them. And so that has helped me so much. So I always appreciate that story. Okay, what are your thoughts on here? What are your questions? What are your like, I don't like that. I don't want to read that. I wish that wasn't there. Anything? Just me? Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, well then we're gonna mosey on over to 23. If y'all want to just keep the ball rolling. Mosey, let's do it. We don't even need a recap. Oh, 23. And then it'll be a surprise to everybody what I teach tomorrow night. Who knows? Who knows where we are? Maybe we already started Acts. I don't know.
Is that where we're going to next?
I think I'm trying to decide. That's what y'all voted on was Acts.
You're probably gonna change it 10,000 times.
Yeah, but I know why y'all voted Acts. It's because you've got really controversial questions, and I'm ready for them. I guess it's just like, man, it's gonna took us almost 2 years to get through Luke. It's okay. Okay, so 23. Let's do verses 1 through 5. One day, news came to David that the Philistines were at Keilah stealing grain from the threshing floors. David asked the Lord, should I go and attack them? Yes, go and save Keilah, the Lord told them. But David's men said, we're afraid even here in Judah. We certainly don't want to go to Keilah to fight the whole Philistine army. So David asked the Lord again. And again, the Lord replied, go down to Keilah, for I will help you conquer the Philistines. So David and his men went to Keilah. They slaughtered the Philistines and took their livestock and rescued the people of Keilah. Now when son of Ahimelech fled to David at Keilah, he brought the ephod to him. Okay, so we start with this like kind of a panic, okay? All of a sudden we have like war again. There's more people trying to kill more people, okay, again. And why? What's happening? The Philistines were at Keilah and they were stealing grain from the threshing floor. Why does that matter? Okay. Moab. Yeah, that was in Ruth. Yeah, the threshing floor's in Ruth. You're right. You're right. Okay, but why does this matter? Okay, it's important when we're reading, we understand that this is written at a time for a purpose. And so we don't really understand threshing floor right now, but what would this have meant to them?
They were robbing all the food supplies.
Yes.
They were facing starvation.
Yeah, they were robbing all the food supplies. Like, this is a big deal. They work really, really, really hard for this. And this is supposed to sustain them. And they're just coming in and stealing all of it. And so then I also want to ask, why do we think this news came to David? Saul's like the whole king. Why didn't this go to David? Why did this go to Saul?
Like the fighting things, right?
And right, but he's left. He's not in charge of
Didn't
it.
all the people follow him to the cave?
And no, those were the band of misfits. These are not his normal army. Remember, we talked about he got a new land of misfit toys when he went to the cave.
Yeah.
Why in the world they go to David, other than like the very obvious that Saul's the worst and David isn't? But it's almost like instead of like, I'm gonna go to the person that actually gets this stuff done. You know what I mean. You've worked with people that you're like, yeah, they might be the boss, but this is the person that does the thing, right? And so they go to David, and David's very first response is what? Inquires of the Lord. So he stops. David could have done one of two things. He could have been like, men, load up. We're going to go do the thing, right? They are killing these people. Like, we need to take care of them. We need to do this, right? Maybe even then his name could have been a little bit more known and more people could have trusted him over Saul, right? There could have been a benefit to him going and doing this. He knows the Lord's with him. He knows that he would have done well. But he says, I'm going to inquire of the Lord. So what do? When things are brought to you, what do? What's your first response? Oh, yep, let's go do it. Or is it like, actually, I'm going through a lot right now. You know, David could have said that too. Could have said, like, this is not my season for that, actually. I am on the run, going through some things, and I just really don't have time to help you. That's crazy. I've got my own stuff going on. That'd been a perfectly reasonable response, right? It's not my season.
Seems fair.
Seems fair. Yeah.
It's not my season.
Yeah. They could have been like, y'all are right. I am so sorry. I don't even know what I was thinking, asking. You've got so much going on. But they went to David. Why did they go to David? Because they knew that David would do it. Right? It's like whenever we have, I'm going so off script today, guys, but we're just rolling with it, okay? It's like when homeless people in addiction, all the things, they're messaging you. They're walking into the church. Why? Why are you walking into the church asking for money?
That's where they get help.
That's where they should be going to getting help. That's where they should be going to getting help, right? It's like, why would they not ask me? I post about Jesus all the time. Why would they not ask me, right? Why would they not come into the church? Or I'm thinking like, I'm getting like mega church in my head. Like, we've got the big sign that's like, you know, what is it? Like the workers are, the field is full, the workers is full. And it's just like, yeah, no. Or I like fill out this form, you know, have we helped you before? Have you helped you before?
30 days
Mhm.
after you start.
Yeah. Actually, I see that you have your nails done. Have a good day.
Taken down.
That's crazy. It's crazy. Why would they not act? Okay, we all have brain cells. Okay, we don't need to be enabling people. Okay, I'm not even going to touch that because I feel like we should all just understand that and understand my heart and what I'm saying is like, why would they not come to us? Why would they not go to David? David has proven himself over and over and over and over. What a gift that somebody sees Jesus in you enough to come and ask for help. What a gift. So, but what do we do when somebody comes to it? What do we do? When it says he inquired before the Lord, do we inquire? What does inquiring before the Lord look like for you guys? Actually, really. Okay, that's very churchy. What is it? Yeah. What does that look like? God, I do not have a lot of money, but I do want 7 brew. Should I go get 7 brew or should I not go get 7 brew? You know what I'm saying? What does that look like? What does inquiring of the Lord actually look like? You guys know how I feel about churchy terms. I don't like it.
For me, it's during my quiet time in the morning when I'm journaling and just like, this is what's going on. This is what I'm dealing with. Like, what do you need me to do? I don't want to do it usually, but, and then as I'm writing, it's just kind of like, oh, wait, you want me to go look up this organization? Oh, wait, you put this random verse in my head? Oh, I see what you did there. Okay, I know what I'm supposed to do.
Right. Because we're not walking around being like, oh, I haven't seen a burning bush over here lately, and I don't see smoke coming from mountains, and there's not a handwriting on the wall, and you know, that would be really convenient if God would just throw a hand up on the wall and tell me what I'm supposed to be doing, but that's not the way God speaks to us anymore. How does God speak to us now? Through people. There's 3 ways. Through people, through his words, and the Holy Spirit. Okay? Those are the 3 ways God speaks to you. And okay. That's all we're gonna do on that one. But it's, do we inquire before or after? Do we go to God and say, should I? Or do we go to God and say, hey man, can you fix what I broke? Because that was wild. That was a choice.
Yeah.
Sometimes both, right? Sometimes I'll inquire before.
Wow, I did that wrong. Can you?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll inquire before, do the opposite, and then ask him to clean up what I broke.
Yeah, I didn't listen there.
Mhm.
I think we need to inquire the Lord though for every minute thing in our life. So we always go to him for the big things,
Mhm.
but
Yes.
recently I've been more and more just like, okay, Lord, help me with simple things. I can't find this. Where did I put this?
Yeah.
Lord, help me.
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind. And it's weird, but it's like immediately shows up.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and I've learned more and more just simple things. God, I can't fix this. It's not piecing together, whatever. And it's just, he's not like a magic genie or something that fixes everything, but going to him in those tiny little things.
Yeah.
And in the moments of, okay, Lord, I'm really frustrated right now. I need you now. It's not I have to step away and have my quiet time or my secret place. That is needed, but it's throughout the day in every single little moment.
Right, so we're praying continuously. We have God on speakerphone, and he's in our back pocket, and we're talking all the time. And so have you ever, I know you have, y'all are rocking a newborn, and you are tired, and you are frustrated, and you are like, not okay, okay? You're like the woman on the movies that they make you watch before you leave the thing, and they're like, put the baby down, you know, like that's where you are. And this baby will not stop crying. And then you hand it to another person, and it's like, oop. It's almost like they can feel like the vibration of your frustration coming out of you. And so whenever we're frustrated, we can't find things. We can't piece things together. Nothing logically can happen in our minds, but then it's almost like God's like, shh.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you can find the thing, right? God doesn't like all of a sudden make it appear on your couch, right? All of a sudden, you just have a clear enough mind to find the thing, you know? And so it's when God is with you and is giving you a peace, like these things just happen.
Yeah.
So we can't effectively inquire of the Lord if we have decided what is going to happen, though, right? If David had already decided, like, I am definitely killing these guys, right? Then God would have automatically said, go kill them, right? We are the best imitators of God's voice. If we have decided what we want God to say, God will say it. Oh, I can think of the most ridiculous thing. I can pull verses to back me up. Absolutely. Prosperity Gospel does it all the time. Okay. If they can do it, I can do it. Right. I know how to build a golden calf, and I can give you instructions for yours too. But if we have decided what we want, we can manipulate the voice of God every single time. And every single time there are consequences to that. And then whenever we're real honest, we realize there was so much sin wrapped up in that inquiry that it wasn't even going to God. It might as well have been just, and that's the thing, right? Well, it was the enemy. No, ma'am, that was you. Okay? The enemy is not really busy over here in America. It doesn't have to be. Like, we do it all ourselves, I feel, truly. Like, you want to see, like, real spiritual, crazy, spooky things that we see, like, you go, like, overseas, that's that stuff. Like, that's real. We tend to think it's not real, like demons and all. It's real. But our flesh just doesn't hear. Enemy's like, oh, anyway, I'll go over there. So,
our own issues.
absolutely. Aiden told me the other day, he was like, oh, I just think it's the enemy. I was like, ew, no, who told you that? This is your own attitude. Like, oh my goodness gracious. Like, we cannot find a demon under every rock.
I watched this the other day, and I just liked what it said. He was talking about this lady and her husband. They were missionaries over a really dangerous part of the world, and that they could be beheaded, all the things. And they were there for a really long time, and they decided to come back.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
You heard this. And after coming back to America and coming home, they actually decided to go back to the dangerous country. And somebody was like, oh my gosh, like, you're so dumb. Why are you doing that? And she basically said, like, even though I'm so close to death and I could be killed for this, I have never felt God more closely. But when I came to America, it's dead. Like, there's, like, where is he? Like,
Yeah. No.
It's, she would rather be, like, you know, inches away from death and be closer to the Lord than physically safe and spiritually.
Yeah. It was like that Spurgeon quote that we talk about, like how he longs for suffering, not because he enjoys suffering, but he longs for the closeness of God in the suffering.
Yeah.
Like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so he inquires of the Lord, and God's like, yep, absolutely, and bye. He's like, yep, absolutely, go kill them. And so David's like, hey guys, get your stuff on. We're gonna go kill these people. And they're like, nope, actually no. Are you sure that is what God said? I am definitely gonna need you to ask again. And this is a moment where David could have been like, do what I said. That's wild. Don't argue with me. Stand up. I'm the leader. And that's not what he does. He goes back and he asks God again, is this okay to do? I'm asking.
No, wait, what?
Is this okay to do? David went back twice. He didn't trust God the first time. What? He went back? Is this okay?
Yeah.
Yes, it's okay. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna poke at you guys because you didn't understand the question. So that means we need to dig here.
I thought you were saying,
Yeah, David, the way you phrase it, it sounded like you.
Oh my bad. I was staring at all of you, but you all had your heads down.
It sounded
so-
like you were like, David, like, oh, is this okay?
I was
God?
looking
And
at
so
it.
I was like, where is
My bad.
I thought we had a different version going on.
No. Like, is this okay that he went to God twice?
Yeah.
Right? He didn't trust God the first time. And so,
Yeah,
Or,
'cause
well-
he went to the right place with his doubt.
exactly. But was David doubting? Or was he just going to get confirmation? Are the two the same thing? Can you get confirmation without doubting? Because what's the difference between this and fleecing?
what's he saying?
Okay, fleecing. Gideon threw out his fleece, right?
I think that was
Yes.
signs. Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel like that was.
exactly.
I don't feel like
Yeah.
that was right.
Yep. Oh my goodness. If I had $1 for every single time that I have had a conversation about asking for signs.
I don't like that mess, but I feel like this was okay. This was doubt. Like that.
Absolutely. So he went back and he's like,
But
hey,
also, it's a big
Oh.
decision, especially after like a bunch of other people just
That's what I was
died,
thinking.
and it's like, do you really want me to kill these people?
truly,
Like,
exactly.
I just, yeah, like I
Yep.
just,
That's
I
heavy.
got this guy with me because all these people. were
Yeah,
killed.
yeah.
I just want to make sure before I start killing,
Yep.
like, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a
Yep.
big
It's like
decision.
he's dragging somebody in. Make sure you heard what he said
Yeah.
too. I'm not sure. Like, you see this too, right?
He's not doubting like, should I go north or south?
Right.
It's like,
Do I
these
murder
are-
these people? Do I
This
not
is a
murder these
civilization
people?
essentially.
Absolutely.
In his hands.
So heavy.
Absolutely. So he's like, okay, and then God in his kindness, he doesn't just respond with, I already answered this. He says, go down to Keilah, for I will help you conquer them. So then he gives them this promise. And he's like, I know that your men are scared. And so you know what this tells us? This tells us that God is not disappointed in our humanity. God made us and he loves us, right? And he's not disappointed in us when we're scared. God is kind. And whenever we go to the right place to replace our fear with security, God's like, I'll give that to
It's
you.
like when Moses, when God already put Aaron on the path to go meet Moses,
Mhm.
and he hadn't seen him in years, because he knew he wasn't gonna
He
be able
wasn't-
to say it.
Yeah.
He needed his brother's voice
Well, and then he did a whole lot of talking anyway, to be fair.
in the moment.
Yes. And so, okay, so David and his men went to Keilah. They slaughtered the Philistines, took the livestock, rescued the people, fled, and brought the ephod with him. Why does that matter?
Continue to line the priests.
Keep going.
The ephod.
That was it. That was.
Brought the ephod with him.
Only one in the priestly line left, right? So he would kind of. That's like.
Yeah, definitely needed the ephod. Okay, what's the ephod first? It's a garment, goes over,
Just
To have the
right?
12,
Okay.
or no?
No, it's got something.
Does that have
The
a-
umum and the thummum. I don't know how to say it. The umum and the thummum. Okay, and well, you know what? We're going to just read a little bit more. It says, Saul soon learned that David was at Keilah. Good, he exclaimed. We've got him now. God has handed him over to me, for he trapped himself in a walled town. So Saul mobilized his entire army to march to Keilah and besiege David and his men. But David learned of Saul's plan and told Abiathar, the priest, to bring the ephod and ask the Lord what he should do. So we have the ephod because it holds the Urim and the Thummim. Ooh, I'm not saying that right, okay?
Sounds cool.
Just so you know, I am not saying that right.
That's exactly.
It's like it's the URIM and THUMM. I don't know. I'm not saying it right. But what is that? Do you guys remember what that is? It's like the dice. Okay, now even the smartest Bible people that do smart Bible things don't know exactly how this worked or what it was, but we can assume that it was kind of like dice and they would like glow for yeses and nos. Okay.
It's like the 8 ball of the time.
Yes, it's the 8 ball of the time. Are 8 balls okay now? No. Like, no. But this is the way the Lord spoke then. Okay, the Holy Spirit wasn't just chilling inside of everybody then. And so this was needed. Okay, but why was it needed if God would talk to David?
It wasn't dived in like David,
Right? Because it was important that the rest of everybody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Okay, there needed to be trust there. And so the Urim and the Thummim helped with all of that. So we're going to actually stop right there. And I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to write it down. Tuesday stopped here. Tuesday stopped here. What is today's date? 5/5. Oh, it is. Okay, so we're going to stop there we'll pick up at verse 9. And so you guys still have 10 minutes. So what am I going to ask you to do? I'm going to ask you to get up and meet somebody you don't know. And I need to hear out loud prayers, right? Right? Because we pray for people. Because if a priest can question Saul and not be scared, if soldiers can say, no, I'm not doing that and not be scared, you can pray for people out loud with your mouths. Okay? We can do it.
Bye, guys.
Say,